Students, today we will focus on concept of valency because the topic we are going to start for that, this is very important. Hello students, as you know that we are going to discuss the topic that how a metal and a non-metal react with each other, and for that what things are important. So to discuss that, I will show you about the concept of valency so that it will be clear in your mind. We have already studied in our earlier classes, but it's a great failure because we can't utilize those in our future classes. So today we will discuss that so that each and every point will be very much clear to you. So let's start.
Does bond formation take place? Can you give me the answer? Yes. It takes place because atoms are always in a constant struggle to reach the stable state. And what is this stable state? Well, if the atoms have only one shell, then the stable state is achieved when two electrons are present in it. And if the atom has two or more than two shells, then the stable state is achieved when the outermost shell contains 8 electrons. It's called an octet. But the stable state is seen only in case of a few elements. We know that elements like helium, neon, argon, etc. have atoms with such desired electronic configuration. But what about the case of atoms which do not have this octet? Yes, they will participate in bond formation. That means they will either give or take or share electrons. But wait, who decides how many electrons will participate in the bond formation? Or who tells the atoms if they've to give or take electrons? Well, the answer to these questions is valency. Let's understand this concept in detail. In simple words, valency is defined as the combining capacity of an element. Now, what exactly do we mean by this? When we say combining capacity, that means how much can an atom bond with another atom. Does that mean how many electrons can be given or taken or even shared? Yes. Thus, the capacity of an atom to give electrons, accept electrons, or even share them in order to achieve the octet state can be termed as its valency. And what about the case of elements with just one shell? That's correct. Trading of electrons is carried out for attaining 2 electrons in the outermost and only orbital in such atoms. Let us take simple examples to understand this. In case of hydrogen, we have just 1 electron in the outermost shell. That means it has to somehow add 1 more electron to the outermost shell. Thus, we find that the valency of hydrogen is 1 as it accepts or sometimes even shares electrons with atoms of other elements. So can you tell me the valency of oxygen now? The electronic configuration of oxygen is 2, 6. That means it has 6 electrons in the outermost shell. So how many electrons are needed to complete the octet? Yes, 2 electrons. Thus, the valency of oxygen is 2. It accepts or takes 2 electrons from other atoms for completing the octet. Now tell me, what will be the valency of magnesium? We know that magnesium has 12 electrons. That means the electronic configuration of magnesium is 282. So how many electrons will be needed now? 6. That's correct. And that's what we're able to see. 6 electrons are needed to complete the octet. But which atom will give away 6 electrons so easily? Is it even possible? Not really. Then how will magnesium complete its octet? This is where the concept of donating electrons comes into the picture. If managing the gain of 6 electrons is difficult, then can it think of giving or donating the 2 electrons? Yes, absolutely. So if magnesium gives away 2 electrons from its outermost shell, then we say that the valency of magnesium is 2. That means it's not only about how many electrons can be taken, but also about how many electrons can be given by the atom. That is how we calculate the valencies of various elements. Now, to understand the concept better, let's take an example of elements forming one compound. Maybe we can think of sodium chloride.
So see students, sodium will give 1 electron from its outermost shell to chlorine to complete its octet. I hope you understood the valency properly. We will meet soon again in the next video. Till then, bye-bye. Take care.